Hey, Arnold.
Hey, Steve.
Once again, for a fourth time.
Yeah, episode 4. It's been a long time. It seems like we've been away for 6 months or something.
Something like that.
But
very close to that.
Time flies, man. It's just...
Yeah, well, summertime, vacation, and, for some of us, or some of you. But, it's been quite busy. A lot of stuff to do during summer, and a lot of catching up to do in music and work and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And
how's the band going?
The band is going very, very well. We're extremely busy right now. We have several projects on the go over here and overseas. And we've kept really, really busy. We've been writing new music.
Okay.
For our new album. The new album should be out in 2022. We're not sure when exactly because we still have a lot of work to do. But
how many tracks?
Right now we're at 5, finished tracks that we can really, count on. For the rest, it's a work in progress, and I guess we'll see if we're releasing an EP or a full length. We don't know yet. We're just gonna wing it for now, and just continue writing. And when we're satisfied, we'll just go with it. And yeah.
And if you have the money to write?
Yeah, well, writing is not expensive.
No, writing is okay. It's a question of inspiration. If you have the inspiration, you can write 20 songs, right?
Exactly. Producing is another thing, though, because you want it to be, you want it to be well done. You want it to sound right.
Yeah.
And especially if you want to do, high-quality music videos, well, that's even more expensive. But that's what you need to get, the people interested, because these days, if you don't have like a video or something, like nice visuals to go with the song, it doesn't really catch, the attention. And so that's something I learned, in time with my band. But yeah, it's really expensive when you want to go that way, but you don't have to produce in an expensive way either. It all depends what you want in the end. So,
and if you're a better band, you can go in the studio and record quickly, and so that way you can record more songs, right?
Yeah, of course, if the band is really, if everyone is super talented in the band and everything goes very well and everyone is well prepared, it goes a lot faster and it costs a lot less money.
Yeah.
But yeah, it all depends. Like I said, if you're a starting band or if you're a professional band, even pros, they can take like several months to produce an album. And
the new songs, are they in the vein of the former EP?
I would say that it is, in the same vein, same type of concept, but I think it's a little more gory. A little more horror-ish.
It's more apocalyptic.
Yeah, I think it's just creepier. In terms of, for lack of a better word, I think it's the way I could describe it. It's just creepier than what we were used to do in terms of lyrics, and in terms of the kind of I'd say the ambiance, the kind of music that you're gonna hear is like it's the type of music that you would hear in a horror movie. And I've always been, like I said before, influenced by horror movies and stuff like that. So I really decided to go ahead with what I like.
Yeah.
And it turned out to be really, really good. We have a
no filter then.
No, well, it's not that it's, I wouldn't say it's vulgar or anything like that. It's just, more descriptive in a way. Yeah. Like I have a song that talks about, serial killers. And so I'm talking about Ted Bundy and Richard Ramirez. And I actually have quotes that they said, when they were arrested and all that. And so yeah, the concept is there, and I'm also doing a song about Sid Haig, with his role in Rob Zombie movies as Captain Spaulding. So yeah, I mean, it's really like I said, it's a little creepier, but it's still the sound, the hard hitting sound that we are, that we did in The Wretched and the Damned, and we really focused on, like, I think faster beats, faster riffs, but we have a lot of breakdowns. We have a lot of, there's a lot more punches in specific spots and stuff like that. I mean, we were also really influenced by Gojira for that album, and I think it's going to show. I think people are going to like it.
Oh, cool.
All right.
So
what about you, Arnold? Have you been busy?
Yeah, extremely busy. The No Plans for Chaos version 2.0 is
2.0
is on its way. We jammed twice in Ottawa in a new jam spot that we have, and so we had a little bit of changes. Remember when we talked about bassists? So like the night before we were jamming, the guy who was supposed to join us on bass just dropped out, so I had to improvise on something.
Wait while I'm surprised.
Yeah, so I contacted another friend, and fortunately he was interested, so he joined the band. So he was not playing on the first jam, but joined on the second one. And it was really well, so it went, super cool. So
awesome.
Extremely hot. We're like under the roof, and we had like 28 degrees or 30 degrees.
Yeah.
So it's been really hard to jam, but no, things went really well. 7 songs are almost ready.
Cool. And when should we expect a new album or an EP or something like that?
Well, I don't know. We're having a meeting tomorrow just to discuss all this, as a band. So we'll put IDs and see where we want to go, and because right now we've been busy jamming, and when you jam, you don't really have time to just discuss about direction, recording projects, and so basically right now we're heading for a set list of, let's say, 12 songs that are all written. But the good thing was, like, we already integrated one song that was written by David, the lead guitar player.
Okay.
So it started to be a good mix of all the IDs. So
cool.
I mean, right now I'm pretty sure we want to be ready to gig probably around like end of October.
Oh, that's good.
That's what we are aiming at right now.
All right.
And we'll see for recording stuff, but definitely we're going to record some stuff with the new lineup. So it's going to be like a revamping of some songs, some riffs because I've worked practically all the song myself with on demos. So, but
okay,
we're going to re-record the drums, the bass, and the other guitar, so that we get the latest version as the band are playing.
All right, can't wait to hear that.
Yeah, and we'll see if we can find some good gigs by the end of the year for sure. We'll be on the lookout for that, and
well, sounds great.
We're really stoked to play gigs again. I mean, and the boys are like really in the same focus right now. So.
Well, who isn't?
Nice.
I mean, right now everybody wants to just play. I mean, I received like literally at least 50 invitations to play gigs just in the surrounding area. And I mean, at some point you had to say no, because people are just not going to go see you 50 times,
No, exactly. You got to pick the right opportunities and make sure that you're going for the good gigs. But it's a good thing. I mean, we were like so desperate last year. So right now it's a good thing if you have more proposals than not enough, right?
Oh, for sure.
I mean, just say, well, wait till next year, and we'll be positive about playing your venue.
And that's one thing I realized. A lot of bands, they just say yes to all the gigs, that they're offered. And but some of the bands don't realize that, the fans, they just don't want to see you play like 50 times in a row. I mean, when they want to see you, they want something new. They want something, fresh. But if they're used to seeing all the time the same gig, as always, I mean, at some point it's just not as interesting or not as surprising or whatever.
Well, that's why you have to just go out of your circle and play outside.
Exactly.
Because
exactly. And so yeah, I mean, I've even had one guy. I'm not going to say the name, but he's a local here in Ottawa, and he was kind of laughing at me because I was saying no to his proposal, as if he was like a big shot or something. And I was like, man, I mean, I already have a show, near the dates that you proposed me, so I'm not gonna, ambush my previous show just to sell tickets for your show. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'd rather have one show and sell all the tickets than having two shows and, selling half capacity. Yeah. So, I mean, that's what people don't really understand.
No,
a lot of bands do that, and I don't know why.
You're totally right in your in your approach. I think it's better to just say, well, if you're not happy with this time, then just wait till the right time comes.
Yeah.
And if it's not possible, but then but there's no in a city like Ottawa, there's no point having two gigs within 2 weeks. It doesn't work. I mean,
no, not at all.
You're just gonna ruin one of your date because half of the people will not come back to the second one.
There you go.
If they come to the first show and you have a good turnout, that's great. But don't expect 2 weeks later to have the same amount of people unless you pay them.
Yeah, absolutely not. I mean, it's practically impossible, even with touring bands. Touring bands, I've spoke with a lot of touring bands, and they came from Montreal, they played there, and they had a full capacity, and they came here in Ottawa, nothing.
Yeah,
it was maybe 30% capacity, and they were like, what the hell happened? Yeah. Well, welcome to Ottawa.
Yeah, same thing. I mean, we played with friends from Toronto, and it was the same thing. I mean, they were used to it's supposed to be a big city, so... Mm-hmm. But Ottawa is very strange. I mean, it's difficult. I mean, we still have two universities and a lot of young people around, but it seems like they're not really into going out. They're studying seriously. I don't know what's...
That being said, I mean, a lot of people that come to our shows are absolutely loyal, and they come back all the time. And that's amazing. I mean, we're really grateful for that. Because we get to see them each and every time that we play, even though we don't play, like 10 shows in Ottawa during a year. Well, we get to see them all the time, and they actually connect with us on social media, and we have an interaction, and that's kind of cool because you actually, create this relationship with your audience, which is nice. And I think this is, Ottawa may not be like as present as people would like to, when you do shows. But I think that, the people that are there are absolutely loyal, and they will follow you till the end. And that's, and that's all part of it. I mean...
that's what building a fan base is about, right?
Yep,
it's
exactly.
Just, creating that special relationship and trying to foster it, not killing it, right? Just make sure that every time something's better, the band's better, the venue's better, or try to just build and
just bring something new to the table. I mean, just wow them. Just bring something new, a new song, a new setup, a new costume, a new whatever. Just, bring something new and have fun with it. That's it. Speaking of table, what do we have on the table for our episode?
Right, episode 4. So we'll be talking about. We'll get back to the great video by Rockin Engine, Let It Burn, because I have a few more questions I want to ask you about that.
Okay.
And I know that you've been really talkative about it last time, or in the previous episodes. But
we can go in detail.
Yeah, I want to have a few more details on that.
Okay.
Then we'll have a new theme in the podcast that is called the local live scene. and
Yep.
I will be presenting one venue that you know that you've been playing to, and
Yep.
and my band played. I think we played around 4 times there. So,
Okay, nice.
And also all the bands that I've seen there, and you probably saw a lot of bands too.
Yes, I did.
I'm sure. So we can have a nice and I think it's definitely the metal place in downtown Ottawa. So it's going to be nice just to give them a little shout out and support that place.
Awesome.
Especially that it's a new administration right now, so
Yep.
they are like really trying hard to boost the venue and make sure that all the bands can come and book the place. So yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
think
it.
they did a great job. I don't know if you want to mention the venue right now, or you wanted to keep it a secret for later to end the show.
I don't know. What do you think?
We
Now
can
that-
keep it a secret.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, why not? Just
Well,
keep the
it's-
audience,
It
you know.
won't be too long to wait.
Otherwise, you can just drag the little arrow and place it at about 15 minutes. You should be fine.
Yeah, and at the end of the podcast, Steve, you'll be talking about the featured band.
Yep.
Again, another band from the area.
Yep, Ottawa, Canada again. And this time, it's actually one of the band members who reached out to me who wanted to talk about their new release called Bury the Hatchet. So the band is Sinful Ways from Ottawa. And so Brad Lake is the bassist and vocalist for that band, and he reached out to me a few times. We've been chatting about a lot, in the past year, because he's also a promoter here in Ottawa, and he promotes shows, he builds shows and everything, and he's been good, with the metal community, and in fact, he's been organizing a lot of shows to the venue that you will talk about today.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm going to talk about their new song scheduled to be released on September 4th. So during this recording, the song is not released yet, but maybe when we release this episode, it might be released. So the actual date for that song is September 4th. So yeah, I'm going to talk about that and do a little review on that song.
Cool. All right.
All right, so let's do this.
Let's do this. Yeah, so question and answer about the great video. I'm sure that you must have seen it because the link was presented in the previous podcast. So it's
Yep.
Rockin Engine, Steve's band, and the video is Let It Burn. I think it's definitely the song on the album that is the driving force of the album, I think, and that's why you probably picked that song for the video.
Yep.
But my question, Steve, was about did you write the song and knew that when this song was like almost finished, it would be the purpose of the video that you wanted to release?
Well, initially, when we wrote the music to this song, we wanted to create, this opening song for a show or an album, and we wanted to use it as an opening song. So we really wanted something, to get people hyped up right at the start, and so that's why we're starting with this heavy riff.
Okay.
And
it was a way to present the new direction of the band too, right?
yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a lot heavier than what we used to do, and it's more, it's more of what we are in terms of musicians. So yeah, I wanted to create this, this hard hitting riff right at the start, to get people hyped up, in shows or when they listen to the album. And that's why it's the first song on the album, and that's why we opened, the last shows we did pre-COVID. That's the song we opened with, and we also had this backing track, to set the mood. And then, when the mood was set and kind of creepy, then we started with that song.
Okay, so you have an intro.
Yes, we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so yeah, I mean, so the purpose of the music, for the first riff was that. So yeah, that's the reason why we decided to go for that song, for the first song on the album, the opening song on our shows, and our first video for that for the songs on that album. And afterwards, for the other riffs, we were really inspired by Slayer. There's a lot of parts in that song that are Slayer-ish, and so we just went with it, and it was kind of cool. And at some point, I know when we recorded that song with Dark Moon Productions, Joe, the producer, he was he was like, man, every time I listen to that song, this part makes me think, about Slayer. And I was like, you know what? That's kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely. So, Steve, did you write a script? So when the song was done, finished, recorded, and you knew that you decided to pick that one for the video. So did you write a script? Did you write a storyboard? How did you come up with the concept of the video?
Well, the concept of the video was really, it came up with a conversation that we had with Joe, the producer, who also produced our music video. So we were the entire band and Joe. We were talking online, and we were just, shooting ideas. And at some point, we kind of had this image that we wanted in the video. So we wanted something like kind of apocalyptic and chaotic and stuff like that, but we didn't have, the exact image, the end result, in our heads at that moment. So after a while, after talking to Joe and exchanging ideas and stuff like that, we were we're kind of going to, this kind of, Mad Max vibe, that's where we were going, and
the flames.
Yeah, we needed fire.
Yes.
That was non-negotiable. We needed fire in the in the video. That was for sure. We even tried to have some.
And you had a smoke machine, right?
Oh well, we had several smoke machines, and we had geysers. We had fire barrels. We had a lot of stuff like that. And at some point, we knew that there was going to be a lot of investment to do in that video, so we tried to get endorsements from local companies to help us, with the special effects and stuff like that. But we were into the we were in the starting point of the pandemic. And a lot of people were kind of, backing off from all the sponsorships and endorsements and stuff like that because everyone was afraid to lose their money, right? So it was kind of a bad timing to get endorsements from anyone. But a lot of people were like, we really want to help you, but we can't, we can't take the risk. So I was like, okay, so we got to find something else. Yeah. And the fun thing is that we are a band that are very versatile. With our hands, we can build stuff, we can create stuff. We have imagination, we have the skills, and we can make a lot of stuff ourselves. And that's exactly what we ended up doing. And I think the only thing that we didn't do ourselves were the actual geysers that were electric geysers, and that they were provided by Scotty Rufo from the Brass Monkey, actually. And so thank you once again.
Cool.
And so yeah, I mean, but besides that, it was the lighting from our video producer, and that's it. I mean, the rest was all from scratch. We built everything, from scratch, from zero. So yeah, we got the barrels, we got the whole back scene in plywood that we carved our logo in, and we painted the plywood in there, and we put like a smoke machine behind it with some lighting. With it, that was all installed on scaffolding, behind the drums. And I mean, yeah, I mean, everything was built from scratch, even our costumes, everything.
Yeah.
So we saved a lot of money. It was a lot of time to invest, for sure. But we ended up saving a lot of money, and it was a really cool video to shoot. I mean, even Joe, our producer, he was like, "Holy shit, man, this is really cool." You know, and he
So
really
it's the proof that, you know, even with building stuff from scratch, DIY
Yeah.
way can work. It can work, and it can
Absolutely.
definitely end up being you know, like it really looks like produced with a big budget thing, and
Yeah.
and it was not, right.
Exactly, and that's the whole point. I mean, you don't have to have a lot of money to create all these special effects. I mean, I remember in I think it was our second video with Dark Moon Productions, where we shot. You know, it was for the State of Nature, and it's a song about basically vampires and stuff like that. And so at the end of the video, there's this woman, you know, who's like sacrificed on the table, and at the you know, the final scene of the video, she has a lot of blood, you know, coming off her neck, and it's dripping on the table. But I actually built a blood pump, you know, from scratch.
Really?
And yeah, I just took like a bottle for pesticides with a pump, and I took some hoses and stuff like that, and proper plugs and everything. So she had like a tube, you know, that was clipped on her corset that she had.
Yeah.
And afterwards, you know, when the scene came in, I was on the side of the table just pumping blood like this.
And it
but
worked.
It worked.
Yeah.
It worked, and it cost like nothing.
Yeah.
And the end result was absolutely cool, you know. So and what's funny about that story is that she ended up having like a ton of blood in her hair, and she had like blonde hair, and it stained her hair.
Nice wash up.
So yeah, but she was really cool about it, and she was laughing about it. So it wasn't. I was feeling like super bad, but no, she was really cool about it, and she was laughing afterwards. So
But it
yeah.
had to be realistic, right? So
Yeah,
it
I mean,
takes what it takes, right?
I guess so, but yeah, I mean, it was a funny thing that happened there, and but it all worked out really well, and but yeah, it just comes to say that, you know, if you have imagination and you have the skills, you can save a ton of money.
Yeah.
You know, for to make some cool videos. I remember a video from Triple Murder here in Ottawa, where it was produced by Dark Moon Productions once again, and they had this view of cannibals, you know, eating inside of a woman, you know, a woman's belly and stuff like that. It was super gross,
Yeah.
but it was so well done, you know, it looked real, and but it cost nothing to do, and that's what's cool about it. You know, when you have that imagination and you have the skill set, you can do whatever you want. You just need to create this ambiance and put the proper lighting and have a super duper cameraman, you know, making it all look great. You know, that's the whole point. And but of course, I mean, if you have tons of money, you can save a lot of time, and you could have people do it for you.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the other thing. So when you're super busy and you have a ton of money, well, you can, you know, pay people to do that. But where's the fun in that? I mean,
No, and that's it. And you don't know what people did for you, right?
yeah, I mean,
You just see the result when you shoot the video, but you don't really know what was behind the scene, right? Rather
Exactly.
than when you do it, you know exactly all the details and
Oh, yeah.
everything that had to be done, right?
and for our video, for Let It Burn, I mean, there was so many things that we had to do for every take. I mean, we had gas, you know, mixed with diesel just so that it was burning, you know, for a longer time.
Mm-hmm.
And so we had like this trench that we dug, you know, around our set. and we had like branches in there to make sure that the fire stuck, and it was just not just gas, burning. And we had barrels with wood in there, with the fire burning in there. We had like torches and stuff like that. So every time we started a new take,
was it pretty warm on the set?
well, actually,
With all that fire?
No, well, it wasn't too bad. It was smoky,
Yeah.
but it wasn't too bad because it was. We filmed at night, obviously, because we needed it to be dark. But I mean, the temperature was just perfect. I mean, it wasn't warm. It wasn't too cold either. It wasn't too humid. It was just right.
And that reddish tone to the image of the video, was it like something that was post-produced, or was it just the natural flame and fire
It was a
color?
mix. It was a mix of the fire and some of the lighting that Joe had.
Okay.
So the way that he placed it, it was just perfect. To create that, that hellish.
It was like hellish.
Yeah,
definitely.
that hellish look. And that's exactly the look
Burning
that we
in hell,
wanted.
yeah.
Because when you think of it, the actual song, the metaphor of the song is that. I was thinking about, the devil that is coming back to Earth to claim, his planet, to claim his Earth, and and doom all humanity. So, but he comes on Earth and he sees that they're already doomed. So he's like, well, fuck it, let it burn.
There's nothing.
So that's kind of the metaphor in that song, because with all the chaos going on everywhere in the world, corrupt governments and mass hysteria everywhere, the media, taking control of everything. It's just hell. It's just it's already an apocalypse, and it's just not like the Bible describes it, maybe, but I think we're already in there. But anyway, yeah. So the whole metaphor behind that was, that the devil was like, hell, I can't do worse than that. Just leave it be.
Yeah.
And they're all going to destroy themselves. So I'm just going to go back in my in my place, and I'm going to chill out.
Big deception.
Yep.
All right.
So yeah.
What about the costumes of you guys, the band, for the video? Are you going to reuse them? Are you going to reuse them? Maybe use them on stage?
I think we do. We do want to reuse them. I'm not sure if we're going to put everything on though, because. Some of the articles that we were wearing were kind of stiff. So, for the video, it was kind of cool. It was okay. Yeah. But,
for playing live, you need a lighter version of the costumes.
Maybe. I mean, I'm going to have to try it out. We didn't have the opportunity to try it out yet on a live set. But I know for a fact that our bassist's costume is going to be absolutely freaking dangerous if he puts it on stage.
No, yeah.
He has
got to get rid of the nails, right?
Yeah, he has like 6-inch nails popping out of his shoulders, like all around. And during the video shoot, he actually he came close like at least 12 times to having a nail right into his eyes. And we were like, dude, man, you got to stop, putting your head everywhere, you got to stop headbanging like that. You're going to kill yourself. And but I mean, the result was there, and a couple of drops of blood, and that's it.
Yeah.
He was
and
fine.
For another video, have you decided to present the band, present yourself costume like that for another video?
Well, I think
is this going to be like one feature of Rockin Engine?
Well, the thing is, the way we see it is each song should have like its theme, and even though we're going to have this chaotic, creepy-ish theme all the way, I think each song deserves its proper costumes and its proper setup. So I don't want to have to always have the same costumes coming back. I want something original each and every time we do a video. And so we might not, rewear what we had on that video, but we might. I mean, I don't know. It's going to depend. But for our future videos, I mean, it has to match, the theme of the lyrics.
Yeah.
That's the way I see it.
Okay. Which is fine.
Yeah, I mean,
it doesn't need to be something that has to be reused or redone. I mean,
no, and the thing is, it didn't cost a lot of money, so it's not like it's a waste of anything. It's not a waste at all. I mean, we can reuse that.
Or you can
for a
auction
lot
it.
of things, or we can
Auction it.
Yeah,
Make
maybe.
money.
Well, I don't know if
money
we're
out
gonna
of
make
it.
a lot of money out of it, but I think we can, maybe just change it a bit. Change it up a bit. Change some things, and redo another costume with the same articles, and just maybe just paint it differently or whatever. But we can definitely reuse it to do something else. That's for sure.
Okay. Well, I think that ends up the question about Let It Burn.
Yeah. Well, if you have any questions on our video production for Let It Burn, you can comment below this episode, and I'll be happy to respond.
Right. Thanks, Steve.
My pleasure. All right, Arnold. So you wanted to talk to us about a certain venue here in Ottawa that you really enjoy. And I know that the metal scene has seen the stage quite a lot, in the last decade, and even more so. And I remember a lot of bands, that went through that venue. And I have to say that it's one of the best metal venues you can have here in Ottawa. So
Yeah.
you want to talk about the Mavericks here in Ottawa.
Yes, Steve, exactly. So the name is pronounced now. It's Maverick. Downtown Ottawa on Rideau Street, just, let's say, 500 meters, maybe 800 meters down from the Parliament. So it's really downtown.
It's really close by, and you really can't miss it when you go on Rideau Street.
Yeah.
And it's now I think they have new owners. Well, not that I know, but I know they have new owners that they also own this restaurant,
The Coven.
the Coven. That is a heavy metal restaurant, by the way. The food is absolutely delicious, and if you want to have a heavy metal meal in a heavy metal scene, that's the place to go.
Yeah, they have the Slayer burger.
Oh, there you go.
So I can recommend that. I think that's the one I tasted when I went down. Well, probably a couple of years ago now. But I'm glad to see that bar managed to go through the pandemic and is still around, and they have expanded it into getting. I don't know if they bought the Mavericks or if they're just renting the place, but at least it proves that these guys are really into like supporting the metal scene. Right?
Oh, absolutely. And I remember they took control of the Mavericks during the pandemic. Yeah. So it was, I think it was very, you got to have balls, to do that during a pandemic, because I think that the expectations were there in terms of, the result, of them being the new owners of the Maverick, and I think they stood up to the expectations. I mean, they did a hell of a great job renovating the place.
Yeah, and
it's
I think
super nice.
They're serving food too. They have a nice little patio terrace outside now. I mean, they're really trying to just open up as well as a bar, and not only because before that it was really just like a concert place. The bar was just there to when you had bands. But I think they're trying to a little bit, probably like the Covens. They try to have their patrons and their clientele to come every time. If you want to have a drink, which place you can go. I mean, guys like us will go there, right?
Yeah. Well, there you go. And so, I mean, they did a hell of a job with the place. So congratulations, guys. I mean, you did an absolutely amazing job.
Yeah.
And so tell me about,
so just to describe a little bit the place.
Yeah,
the place is like, it's not really, I mean, I would say it's like 300 capacity.
Maybe something like that, yeah.
It's not like a big club. but it's definitely the place in Ottawa. And when we heard that it was closing, or that the owners were just saying that they were stopping their activities there, it was a shock around. I mean, I don't know if you remember,
Yep.
but a lot of people were talking on the social media saying, well, where are we going to go? Where are we going to see bands in town? Because that was the only place where you had metal.
Yep.
From touring bands, from local and national bands. So that was a question around, and hopefully those guys stepped up and decided to take it back. And I hope that things will go back the way it was, because I mean, I've seen some real cool band there. I remember probably about 7 or 8 years ago, seeing Death Angel.
Yep.
And going back to their tour bus at the end of the show, talking with the bassist and the singer. It was great. I mean, bands are like, they're not really into the ambience. It's really like a small club, so they make themselves really available for their fans, and it's quite easy to just go to them and chat and have a nice relationship. So
yeah, absolutely. I absolutely agree with that. I remember when I first saw the Agonist play there, and I think Vicky Psarakis was just starting with the band at that moment when Alyssa was kicked out, I guess.
No, I don't think she was kicked out. I think she was just joining Arch Enemy.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, but so yeah, I mean, when Vicky was just starting with the Agonist, we had a super nice chat.
Yeah.
And like you said, people, all the artists that go there are always available, to chat with you, and they're super friendly, and it's like a community. You just go there and you can talk to everyone.
Yeah.
So it's really nice. And it's actually the first time I met Pascal Paquot-Jabin, who is the lead guitarist for the Agonist, and we chatted a lot, and we became friends, and he became my guitar teacher.
Your
afterwards.
coach, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, it's all these small opportunities that you get, in places like this that that make all the difference, and you don't have a lot of venues like that here in Ottawa or anywhere for that matter. So I think it's a huge plus, to have a venue that permits you to interact with the artists like that.
Yeah, so the stage is not really big. You don't have like big waste room, and it's pretty down to earth place. You have the entrance, the bar. It's a big room, and then you have the stage and the bathroom, and that's it. Basically, the sound is always loud and pretty good. I remember the last time we played there, we opened for Vicious Rumors, San Francisco heavy metal legends. And they were on their 40th anniversary tour. Okay. So this was in May 2019, just before 6 months before the pandemic, basically. And this was a really cool show for us. We opened. I mean, it was great to see bands who've been playing around for 40 years still, banging metal, and it was great. It was a super memory for all of us.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and the other bands that I've seen there, like I mentioned Death Angel, I've seen Creator, I've seen Exodus, I've seen Warbringer. It's like it's the place. I've seen Overkill, Prong. So definitely, all the bands that for me I wanted to see, but in a small venue is so much nicer.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's not this huge arena vibe that you're going to get, but it's so up close and personal.
Yeah, and also for the sound. I mean, you can definitely get the real, almost like the jamming sound of the band. It's and you can just like come up to the stage and see what pedals they're using. See, exactly. You can be like 1 meter away from.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
I mean, Overkill was a band that I started to listen to when I was around 16 or 17. So and it took me a long time before having the opportunity to see them live, and I wasn't I was like really blown away. Overkill, even now, they're like so good.
Oh, really, huh?
Oh yeah. So if you haven't seen them,
Nope, not yet.
well, it's a band I think you need to check. You need to check them out, and I think everybody's talking about the big four, but you have so many underrated bands from that time, from the Bay Area, or like Overkill's from New York, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's fair to just limit the thrash metal scene to the big four.
Oh, absolutely not. You're absolutely right on that. And you were mentioning, the bands that you opened for at the Mavericks, and I remember when we opened for Rasta Boss there, and Slow Feg, and we did a few shows there. But the one I really enjoyed the most was Rasta Boss. I mean, that was absolutely amazing. The guys, Ross, for that matter, he's an amazing guitarist, and he's such a cool guy to talk with. Just super down to earth. I mean, before the show, we were talking about amps, because we both play on Engel amps, and he was, asking question about my model, and I was asking question about his model, and we're comparing, and we chatted like for half an hour about our amps, just taking our beer and just chatting about amps. So it was super cool, to do that with such a great guitarist.
Yeah.
And the singer and the bassist, they were also super nice. We took pictures with them afterwards. We chatted a lot with them, and that was fun. That's the whole point, of being able to open for great bands like that. The venues like Mavericks, will allow you to do that.
Yeah.
And you don't get these opportunities elsewhere. So that's kind of cool. I mean, yeah.
It's almost like you make friends with those guys who can be legends and I mean, I remember when we went down to see Exciter. I mean, Exciter, I remember buying the vinyl I have from Exciter probably around 86 or 87. So it's been like years that I wanted to check them out. But at the time, it wasn't the actual lineup with the drummer singing.
Yeah.
But it was still a good band, and it's definitely one of the Canadian metal reference and legend for sure. So that was seeing them there, it was like definitely something that was a big plus. Because I mean, going to a festival or going to a stadium or a big venue like the arena we have in Ottawa, I mean, that's okay, but it's not the same. I definitely enjoy more seeing a band in a smaller place because the sound you really get that live,
that rawness.
Live. You can almost feel the kicks within your chest, right?
Yeah.
Whereas, I went down to see Judas Priest at the TD Place, for example, and that was a super cool concert. But, being like all the way up in the, in the stadium it's like I don't know, 5,000 or 6,000 capacity.
Yeah, it's not the same experience for sure.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable, but it's not the same experience.
And in a way, I mean, when you have a successful band, you're definitely hoping to get, to play in big arenas and stadiums because, it's you can reach more fans. But I think a lot of bands always enjoy, going back to a small venue so that, it reminds them of their first gigs and the start of the band, basically.
Yeah.
Because it's always a good way to reconnect with what it is to play, and the same thing as when you jam. You have that connection also between the musician. In a small place, whereas if you play, I imagine if you play on a large stage, it's difficult to get connected to the drummer when the drummer is like 50 feet away from you. Or
Well, of course, if you've been touring and you've been playing on these stages for I don't know, for the past years, I mean, at some point you get used to it and you have your kind of your thing going on. But no, for sure, if you're not used to playing large stages, you can get not that you'll get lost on the stage, but yeah, at some point you find yourself not knowing what you're going to do, you know.
well, it's a different environment, so you really have to just act up as the way it has to be done.
You need
on
to
a big
take the
stage.
place.
Yeah,
you need to move. You need to run. You need to jump.
To be rehearsed and worked out. You know? Yeah, definitely. Whereas if you play in a small place, you don't really have to just do a lot more work on that. But
yeah, well,
but the connection is there.
Yeah,
definitely. It's like it's like you can feel the electricity coming out of the guitars, basically.
Yeah. I know for me, I like to have more space than less. I like to move. I like to run. I like to do stuff, with my guitar. And so yeah, I've had some experiences with larger stages, and it's fun. I love it. Mm-hmm. But you need to know what you're going to do. And like you said, it's hard to, if you don't know what you're going to do, you kind of lose yourself on the stage. And if you don't move, well, that's even worse, because there's nothing happening. And as when you're on a smaller stage, if you're kind of static on the stage, well, it doesn't really matter, because you don't really have the space to move. So you can move a bit, you can headbang, you can do a little thing with your guitar, but that's pretty much it. That's all the space you have. So for a lot of musicians, it's kind of a good thing, because they're not used to running around and doing shit, on stage. But I think for the other musicians, it's fun to have a big stage and jump around and do your stuff.
When you're in a crowd in a festival, for example, where you have to rely on the big video screens, because there's no way you can see that like every musician is that big on the stage.
Yeah,
because you're so far away. It takes away a little bit of, and sometimes, like, I don't know if you've been to the Blues Fest, for example. I mean, I've seen Maiden there in a couple of years ago, and it's not that big of a festival, so it's all right. I mean, you could see the stage pretty well and what's happening on the stage, but still, I mean, you had some like wind, so the sound was like really cut off at some points, just because the wind was just taking away the sound.
Okay.
So it was like come on,
Yeah.
You would never have that in a small venue. A small venue, you would get the whole picture. You would see the whole band in one look, and you can see the interaction between the musician, everything that is happening. On a big stage, you don't have that. You rely on the video screen. You see the singer, and you don't know what's happening with the rest of the guys on stage, because it's the same thing as when people use their phone and I've never done that. I mean, for me, going to a concert, I'm not gonna film with my phone. It's just, I'm just watching it.
Yeah, but yeah. So smaller venues. I think I dig it a lot. That connection that you have with the audience is precious, and yeah.
So Mavericks, we'll be back.
Absolutely. So
Maybe,
thank you guys for keeping this venue alive and doing a hell of a good job with it.
Yeah, and we'll make pretty sure to go back and play. Maybe your band and my band together.
Maybe. Never know.
Yeah. All right.
All right, so for today's featured band, for this episode's featured band, I wanted to go with another Ottawa band called Sinful Ways. So the music that you're hearing in the background right now is their new song called Bury the Hatchet, which is scheduled to be released on September 4th. So if the episode you're listening now has been released afterwards, well, you can add this song, on your Spotify playlist, YouTube, iTunes, or whatever. So there's a video that will be released for this song, but we still don't know the actual date yet, since there was a few delays, in terms of video production. But stay tuned for that, for sure. So as you can hear right now, this song packs a hell of a punch. There's a lot of nice vocals in there, a lot of screams. There's a hell of a ton of heavy hitting riffs in there. But the part I love most about that song is that freaking breakdown. I just love it. I mean, there's no way you can't headbang to that breakdown. There's just no way at all. So yeah, I mean,
yeah, that's pretty metalcore, right?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it's an amazing song for sure. And to say the least, I have to say that it is my favorite song that you guys have released yet. And I can't wait to hear the new EP that is coming up, and I can't wait to know when it will come up. But for the time being, just to give a little information on that song. So the song is about, about not taking no for an answer, not, listening necessarily to what everyone tells you to do. And, at some point you got to push back, you got to fight. And so this song talks about, the corruption and standing up to corruption and corrupt, governments and stuff like that. And so yeah, I really like the attitude that these guys bring to it, and I really enjoyed, the new guitarist. I mean, he absolutely slays it. I love the solo. Amazing guitarist. I love it. Yep.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else to add on that song?
I think you pretty much on the spot there. It's badass metal for sure. It kicks some ass for sure. It sounds, it's wall of sound. It sounds really thick and heavy, fast drum. I really enjoy the chorus. I think the chorus is a good addition to the song. It brings, like a melodic touch to it that I think was clever to bring into that, that, because the verse is really heavy screaming, but the chorus is a good, it's changing the ambience there. So
yeah, absolutely.
I like that way of writing. Like not going all the way with the same heavy, fast.
Yeah.
So that's
that's
cool for that.
Yeah. And
production is great. You can really see that they've had it professionally recorded for sure.
Well, I actually know the producer, Cameron Dunn. I worked with him once at his studio. So shout out to you, Cam. You did an amazing job on that song, by the way, and I can't wait to hear the others. So Cameron Dunn from Hillside Audio here in Ottawa produced this album. And the song was mastered by Scott Middleton of Cancer Bats in Toronto. So I think that both these producers together did just an insane job on the sound. So congratulations on that.
Yeah, and it's Canadian metal.
Canadian metal.
The best.
All right, so that's it for episode 4. So I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, and as always, if you have comments or suggestions, please leave your comments below, right beneath right in the comment section of this episode, and please subscribe and share our episode if you enjoyed listening to us.
Yeah, thank you. It's good to be back, and unfortunately, the summer is almost over.
Yeah, well,
and we're gonna go into a different weather now, but it's good. It's good. It's just
it's Canada.
Yeah.
All right. So I hope to see you guys on next episode, and as always, take it easy and keep it metal.
Yeah. Stay tuned.